Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rachat Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well. And also honor and salutations to those of you who are of the hopeful elect and are out there teaching the word of sincerity and truth. So I wanted to get into a couple of things here. Here in Massachusetts, I'll pull it up really quick. One of them, I got a couple of different articles here. But here in Massachusetts, they're starting to shut down cities, and so it's voluntary, right? That's the way they're presenting it as of right now. But they're starting to shut down cities here en masse. I think Oxford. This article is about Oxford, but Plymouth, some areas in Worcester. Where are the other ones here? Just bear with me for a second. Yeah, Douglas, Oxford, Sutton, and Webster. Like I said here in this article, are at critical risk. So they're starting to do these different shutdowns, and they're saying it's due to the spread of EEE, which is let's go to it. Let's pull it up like this. Let's do it like this. Mosquito. All right, so yeah, the Eastern equine encephalitis, right, which is a virus that is spread through mosquitoes. So what it looks like. Oh, let me read a little bit of this from the CDC. I don't want to shortchange the information here. All right, so this is from the CDC website. It says Eastern equine encephalitis virus is spread to people by the bite of an infected mosquito. Only a few cases are reported in the United States each year. Most causes occur in eastern or Gulf Coast states. Although rare, Eastern equine encephalitis is very serious. Approximately 30% of people with Eastern equine encephalitis, I'm going to say EE from this point forward, die. And many survivors have ongoing neurologic problems. Right? Symptoms of Eastern, I said I was going to say EEE, can include fever, headache, vomiting, right, diarrhea, seizures, behavioral changes, and drowsiness. So the interesting thing about this to me, these symptoms here. You can have them from anything, right? And so there's always this, I'll say this, I want to say blanket statement, or this blanket set of symptoms that they present us with whenever they're presenting us with a new virus, if you will, right? It says, and what I was going to say is that this kind of mirrors or shares the same thing that we saw with the C-19, right? It says there are no vaccines to prevent or medicines to treat EEE. You can reduce your risk of infection with EEE virus by preventing mosquito bites, right? And so what I find interesting, right? So as I was reading these articles here and here, they're both channels are live. This is NBC and this is CBS or WBZ Salakia. Oh, but CBS, yeah. And while I was reading the articles, they're live. It's 10 o'clock. It's live news. Now they're talking about West Nile disease, right? And I guess who's this guy here? Fauci got the West Nile virus, and they're speculating that it's from a mosquito bite. So again, it's the same theme, right? The same theme over and over. And when I thought about that when I was reading it, and I was saying to myself, it's the same theme. It's the same theme. Made me think of this scripture here. Yep. So I'm gonna start at 11. I'm just gonna read 11 just to make the point, but I want to go back to 10 in just a minute. So this is Ephesians 6:11. It says, "Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles excuse me, that she may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, right? And so when you look up that word wiles, it goes back to the word method, right? Where we at here? Here we go. I'm skipping past it. Methodeia, right? Which is to say, cunning arts, deceit, craft, or trickery, right? And so these are the things that they do, because ultimately, what we know of the powers that be, or Esau, is that he's trying to have complete world domination, right? Complete control over the people. And there is a method, right, that they use in order to control the minds of the people, right? I think it was elder apostle Tahar that brought out the meaning of government some time ago. Let's go to that real quick. Let's go to online etymology dictionary, right? Because I think the word government goes back to what's going on here? What's going on here? What we got going on? Not evil. Let's go to um, government. All right. So it says here, government, act of governing or ruling, system by which a thing is governed, right? From Old French, government, control, direction, administration. From governor, to steer, right? Right. When you're steering a vehicle, what are you doing? You're controlling the vehicle, right? Be at the helm of, govern, rule, command, direct. To direct, rule, guide, govern. Originally to steer, to pilot, right? The meaning, the governing power in a given place, is from 1702. Right. So if you break the word down, I won't get into it here because I didn't do this, but govern, again, going back to control, and ment is the Latin term for mind, right? So government, right, in its meaning, means to control the mind or to steer the mind, right? And that's a part of the method or the cunning arts of the devil, right? And so now they've already primed us, right? That C-19 thing went on for, from, I say, the end of 2019. It started over on the west of the Atlantic Ocean, and then it moved its way over here. And I remember where I was at the job, and I was saying, this place is going to be, locked down too. And he was like, nah, that would never happen here. And sure enough, February, March 2020, they started shutting things down, just like they're doing here in Mass now, right? And so ultimately, with this, again, they primed us with C-19, and now it's going to become common, right? And I was going to do a separate show on this, and maybe since now I'm mentioning government, I want to say this. You see what's going on, and I'll get to the scriptures in just a minute here. But you see what's going on with, let's say, politics, right? Where you now have Kamala Harris, who's the Democratic nominee for president, and then you got Donald Trump, right? And you look at them, right, and you see the let's say exposés that have been done on these two people, um, and it's clear that neither one of them should be in control or in rule of anything, right? And one thing that like let's say the fans or like the citizens are good at is creating these expose videos to point out the hypocrisy of both of them, really, right? They've got a lot of hypocrisy to them. And so what I was thinking to myself was, I said, politics has become much like these virus scares have become just a gauge to see where the minds of the people are, right? All right, let's put this out there. Let's put Trump out there in the forefront. Let's say he got shot, and Let's see how the people react so we can see where their minds are. Let's see what their minds are thinking about. Are they asleep? Are they aware? Or are they um, in a trance that we can sway their minds this way or that way, right? And that's what politics has become, and that's what the government really is just a way to test where the minds of the people are, right? And again, that's a part of those wiles. Matter of fact, let's go back to this. Go back. So let's jump up to back to 10. This is Ephesians 6:10. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might." Right. Put on the whole armor of the Most High. Which what is the armor? Right. The armor for us is a few things. Right. It says here that the um uh for a helmet is. Am I in the right place? Let me see. Let's read it. It says, put on the whole armor of the Most High, right? And so we know that. What is that, right? First and foremost, the scriptures tell us that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it is safe, right? So first and foremost, you have to have the names of Yahweh, and you have to have the name Yahweh Shai in order to be in that tower, to be protected from the wiles of the devil, right? Another part of that is the scriptures, of course, right? The Lord Yahweh Shai said He would not leave us comfortless, right? And He would send us another comforter, which we know is the scriptures, right? And then faith, right? Another part of that, right? So all of these things together make up the armor that's going to protect us, right? Or to help us to withstand the methods of the devil, right? Matter of fact, I'm thinking of another scripture. Let me go to it while I'm thinking of it, and then I'll come back to this. This is overtake you as a thief. I think it's Thessalonians 5. Here we go. Put that there for a second, then I'll come back over there. So this is Ephesians, back in Ephesians 6:11. It says, "Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand the evil day." Right? And what is that evil day? Right? The time of Jacob's trouble, as this year has been dubbed, right? The time of Jacob's trouble is that evil day. And having done all, to stand, right? And so these are the things that we need to be mindful of. These are the things that we need to be paying attention to, right? So let's go here, and then I'm going to read a little bit of the articles here. So this is First Thessalonians. I'll start at 1 here. First Thessalonians 5:1. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Right? So for most people, uh, right, this day, right, that evil day, as it spoke about here, uh, where is it? Evil day, as it spoke of here in the 13th verse in Ephesians 6. That evil day is going to come to most people as a thief, because they're not paying attention to these things, and even when they are paying attention, they're watching it in a trance-like state, right? This is why, let's go here. What is that? Ephesians. Open up another one of these. Ephesians 5:15. Right? It says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." What is that? It might be right here. Let me just read a little bit of this real quick, because I'm thinking of another. Yep, here it is. Because I'm thinking of that word sober, right? Because again, even if they are paying attention, right, they're doing it like they can see it, they're looking at it, right? What is that? Eyes, but they see not, and ears, but they hear not. Let me go to that. Yep. Which one is it though? Let's go over here. Open up another one. Isaiah. Isaiah. Isaiah 6 and 10. Yep. 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 Isaiah 6 and 10. It says, "Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed." Right? So most people are going to be in this state of darkness, right? Most people are not gonna know that these things are happening, even though it's right in front of their face, as the scriptures say, even though a man told you, right? Most people are going to be in this state because most people just want to just live their life, be comfortable, laying in the bed. You know, you got that laying on that shoulder, and they got that phone up in their face, and they scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. That's what most people want to do, right? And so they're not paying attention to these things, right? It says that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are the children. Actually, I think I skipped down a little bit. Let me read up to 2 again. It says, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief." Right? So even these things that may seem trivial, right? Because this is not countrywide, right? Even these things that seem trivial, you still have to pay attention to them, again, so that you're not in darkness, right? Let's see. What is that? Let's see. Ignorant device. Oops. Yep. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, right? For we are not ignorant of his devices, right? So we have to know these things, no matter how small they seem. All right, we still have to know these things, right? So let me keep going here. It says, "Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness." Right? Here's the point here. "Therefore, let us not sleep as do others," right? And when I say sleep, right, they're not actually sleeping, like physically sleeping, but they're more like a person who's sleepwalking, right? They're, if you know anything about sleepwalking, right? They're people that are sleeping, but they're, doing activities, but they're in a sleep like state, right? And that's what most people are in, right? When they make these zombie movies, that's what they're talking about. They're awake, right? And they have a hunger in them, right? That carries them and keeps them in a likeness of being alive, right? But they're really in a zombie sleep state, right? It says, "Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober," right? And not just sober from wine. It means sober being clear in the mind, right? Let's look this up. Sober. Sober. Nephil. Right? To be sober, to be calm and collected in spirit. Wow. To be temperate, dispassionate, circumspect, right? Right? So let's go back to that in Ephesians, right? Since I said that. "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise," right? So we know circum, meaning around, and spect, right? Give me that. Spect, meaning to look, right? To look around, right? So you got to be aware. You got to look at these things, right? So let me go back to this article. I want to read a little bit of this. Again, this is from CBS News. This is live. That's why I have it paused. I don't want to play it. I'm already saying a lot of things about drugs and needles and so forth and so on. So I don't want them to cut the channel. But let's read a little bit of this article here. So it says the Oxford Board of Health approved an outdoor curfew after the town reported its first human case of EEE this year. Curfew could impact fall sports, right? So this is something about fall sports. It says the Board of Health met Wednesday evening to recommend ending outdoor activities before dusk to avoid peak mosquito hours despite residents' protests. Being heard is our number one goal, said Oxford Westbrook football and cheer vice president Josh Zeminski right before the meeting. We don't want to see another human case of EEE this year, Public Health Director Reich Sterrett said. One is already too many, right? So it says being heard is our number one goal. And this is the football and cheer vice president, right? And then there was another piece that I read. There was a little girl who says something about it being her her last year on the cheer team, and she wanted to be able to cheer. But again, that speaks to that sleep like state. They're more concerned about their own selves instead of what's getting ready to happen to them, man. Right? And this is why it's going to overtake them as a thief in the night. I don't know if it was this article or this one. Let me see. I read a little bit of both of them. Damn, what was I reading? No, I'm not even sure. Was it this one? Oh, this is something about Walmart. Those little gates and cages. I can't find it. And I'm trying not to read too much of it. But anyway, there was one of the little girls, was talking about this being her last year on the cheer team, and she wanted to be able to cheer. And and there's a lot of people who are protesting it, right? Are protesting the shutdown because they, again, people want to do what they want to do. They're not concerned about what they have prescribed. As a matter of fact, since I said that, which one was it that said not this one? It says something about predetermined. Let me see. I was just reading it, man. Now shit going on. Predetermined is what it said. Let me see. Let me read it. Bear with me for just a second here. Oh, I know what it was. Where is it? Oh, I think I. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. So this is a part of the wiles of the devil, right? Um, Problem, reaction, solution, right? And so, which is basically, they present a problem, right? Let's say a deliberate problem, right? There's a reaction to it, right? Where people get scared or they act in whatever is the natural consequential thing to do based on the problem, and then they present the solution to that problem and that reaction, right? And this is no different than that, right? This thing here is no different. So it says, let me read a little bit of this. This is it says also known as order out of chaos, is a strategy that involves, right? Strategy, right? Or method, right? That involves presenting a problem and then providing a solution. Some say that the powerful elite use PRS to manipulate public opinion and gain approval for societal controls. For example, the media may focus on an issue to create a strong reaction from the audience, right? So what is it in this case? The EEE. What was it a couple years ago? It was C-19, right? And so forth and so on, right? Which can then lead to support for a predetermined solution, right? So one thing that has been a common theme in, let's say, the last 15 to 20 years is a ramp up in public security, surveillance, different checkpoints in the airports, and all of these things that sound like they're there to help you, but really it is them setting up for complete control. I you'd be surprised, or let's say it this way, I would not be surprised if we had, as I'm recording here, right? I'm being looked at. There's a, I don't know, like a some type of heat view or digital view of me in this room, where I'm sitting in the room, where my computer is, what books I have on the table, all those kinds of things, man. Right? So that surveillance ramped up not for protection, but for control, right? Because that's the goal for Esau to in one way or another regain the birthright that was taken from him by our forefather Jacob, man, right? And so he's willing to go through anything, through great lengths to be able to, to regain that control, right? So let's go here, right? To that, since I read that, this is Isaiah 10:1. Open that up a little bit. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed," or as this said, predetermined, right? So so the scriptures teach us of these wiles, man. The scriptures teach us of let's say the modus operandi, or the MO of the wicked, man. And we have to pay attention to those things, especially as we're, moving into getting deeper and deeper into the time of Jacob's trouble. What do I have here? Oh yeah, I gotta read this. This is Second Ezra's 15, and I'll start at 15 here. 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh," right? So again, as I said, we're getting deeper and deeper, closer and closer to the time of Jacob's trouble, right? "And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands," right? Civil war. "For there shall be sedition among men," right? "And invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes," right? So no matter who's in office, you you better believe that those, as Dave Chappelle says, the tiki torch whites, if Kamala Harris becomes president, they're going to take matters into their own hands, and kings or princes or presidents and congressmen and senators will not be able to control the people, man. Why? "And the course of their actions shall stand in their power," meaning they're going to take matters into their own hand, man. Right? "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able," right? Why? Because of those shutdowns that are happening. Right? This is a real thing. These are the things that the scriptures are telling us about, right? It says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid," right? "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation," right? This is the time we're coming upon. Everything is set up for that, man. Where you're gonna see chaos. When you think of, here's some movies we should watch in these days, right? To start adjusting our minds. Movies have the power to uh, make you kind of, how do I say, be a part of it while you're watching it, right? And it'll change your mind. So some movies I recommend: The Road, right? Which, me personally, as a piece of entertainment, is awful, but just to show you the type of mindset you're gonna have to be in, you should watch that. The Book of Eli. What else? Contagion, right? All of these types of movies where, what was that other movie there? Sons of Men. It's an older movie, but I think that movie's from like '07, right? But these are the movies that you watch to think about these things, man. To start gearing your mind towards that type of lifestyle, right? It says, "Behold, saith the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them." I have to write this down. because and I'm about to say something that has nothing to do with what I'm going through right now, or what I'm going over right now, I should say. Where's my I don't want to interrupt this. I'm putting together a test here, but I need to get some more notebooks. So let me I want to write this down, and I'll tell you why. This is Second Ezra's. We were talking to this young lady. I'm gonna do this show. I'm gonna do this. This is Second Ezra's 15 and 20, and then that goes with Zephaniah 3 and 8, and that also goes with Joel, the 3rd chapter, right? Because she was. Well, I'll get into it. I'm getting ready to do the show now, so I got to do that. So anyway, that verse is getting into something a little bit different, but I'm gonna touch on that if the Lord is willing. Read that. Yep. So I put this up here too. This is Isaiah 13 and 12. It says, "I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir." Right? Because why? Men, right, when they are backed into a corner, right, they tend to fight, right? And I learned that from the elder apostle Tahar. He said that before, and it's always resonated with me, right? But what do women do in times of trouble? They look for a man. They sneak out or sniff out a man, right? And so this is why Isaiah 4 and 1 makes so much sense for it to happen in a time of turmoil. Because right now you got the nigga woman or the woman in general. It won't be with you having a bunch of women around you, or being a part of a group of women that want to be around you, right? But in a time of trouble, they ain't gonna think. They ain't gonna be thinking about, oh, you why you got her in here? Because they gonna be scared out of their minds, man. In these times, right? So, so with that, hopefully that was edifying. Just wanted to put that together. Hopefully it was edifying. As always, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well, and honor salutations to the elect. And with that, I say shalom.